Good morning. So, rejection is a fundamental part of recruitment. You won't apply for every job and get it. You won't get interviews um, and get past them all. There's going to be rejection and failure along the way. But what can we do to minimize that? How can we make sure that the rejection we get is managed effectively and we grow from it and learn from it? How can we turn the rejection into something that's positive? I think the first thing is to realize that just being rejected for a particular job isn't a slight on you. Doesn't say that you're a bad person. It's not telling you that um, there's something wrong with you. It just means that at that particular time, you weren't seen as the right person for the role. Maybe somebody else shone a little bit brighter. Maybe maybe you weren't quite what they were looking for in some respect, in some regard. And I think the crucial thing is getting feedback. Um, so now I know, I know that getting feedback in from a recruitment process is not an easy thing. A lot of companies feel that their idea of feedback is just a rejection letter. Sorry, there were better candidates this time, and they feel that that's good enough, which of course it isn't. And I'm going to come on to how you can get the feedback a little in a couple of minutes. But for the moment, let's just concentrate on the fact that the reason for the rejection is very often because there's been some form of misalignment in the first place. Either you haven't understood the role properly, or they haven't understood your relationship to the role properly. And I speak to people as a recruiter for the last 20 years and now as a career consultant. I speak to people on this subject all the time. That they get in interviews and they're coming second, um, and they don't understand why they're coming second. And when I dig down into why they're coming second, a little bit, I see that there's something quite fundamental in so much that they're not actually communicating effectively their value, their worth, what it is that they can really achieve for the people, the company that they're going to work for. Um, they can talk well enough about what they do, but not the value of what they do, if you get my drift on this. The point is that people buy value. They buy utility. It's basically about bringing to the table something that is going to help them in some way to achieve their goals. And if they don't see that, then that's the reason for the rejection in the first place. And so when it comes to avoiding rejection, the the key ingredient, shall we say, that you need is to be able to articulate your value and the reason why you should be seen as the go-to choice for the role. Uh, you're not going to get 100% of the jobs you go for, but you will certainly have a much stronger claim on the role, as it were. You're more likely to get it. They're more likely to see you as the fit if you can articulate your value. That comes down to um, what I've spoken about many times on these videos. That comes down to uh, understanding the job in the first place and what you have achieved relevant to that job in the first place. So, having done the right research, having understood what the job is about, what the problem they are looking to solve is, that's the key to doing this properly, understanding what it is, What's their problem? Is their problem that they need to increase sales in a particular area? Is their problem that they've got a new solution that's going out there and they need somebody who can actually take that new solution and and put it into the market? Yes, I don't know why that's happened. And put it into the market. Sorry, something suddenly took over and decided it was going to usurp usurp my screen there. Um, you know, maybe they've got a major program that's coming up and they need somebody that can control that program, that maybe a big transition project or something like that, and they need somebody who can really take ownership and make sure that it goes through. And what they wanting to see from the people that are coming in is that you're a safe pair of hands, that they can reliably give that program to you, or reliably get you to take ownership of the sales process in particular areas, or whatever it is. And you've got to be able to articulate why it is that you're the right person for that. And if you can do that, you'll get the interview. And if you do that in the interview, you'll more than likely get offered the job. And the problem I see with people that are getting rejected is they don't do that. They talk about what they do in the job. They talk about the function of the job. They talk about the skills that they bring to the job. All of that's good stuff, but it's second place to somebody that comes in and tells them how they've already done it for somebody else, how they've made the difference, how they've had an impact. And throughout the whole process of recruitment, um, and you're going to get me telling you that this is how you make a difference to your career. It's so important to understand and know how to articulate the value that you bring into the marketplace, and being very specific about what that value is about and the problems that it's going to solve. Now, I want to go back to what I was talking about earlier, which is this feedback thing. So, if you do get rejected, and you will get rejected along the way, then you should ask for feedback, and you should get that feedback. Any decent company will do it. Um, and if they don't do it, there's a breakdown in their process, because it's unlikely that it's the hiring manager that's holding up that feedback. He will have made notes. He will know why he selected somebody over you, and it may just be that they had more of what he was looking for. But if you don't ask for the feedback, and I'm saying this, it sounds so blatantly obvious, ask for the feedback, but so many people don't. Um, people come to me and say, and have told me several times how they're expecting feedback and they don't get it. And I say to them, have you asked? And the answer is no, I haven't asked. Well, why don't you go back and ask for it? Uh, when I was running the recruitment process, I asked for it, and 9 times out of 10, I would get better feedback than they were, than was being given to other people. Yeah, a lot of the time, the interference you get from the recruitment personnel is, oh, we don't want to bother our hiring managers. No, you're not bothering your hiring manager. It's your duty to provide a proper communication. You're bringing people in. These are human beings. They have aspirations, and they need to know. So you're not bugging anybody. This is part of your duty in your recruitment process, to make sure there's a proper line of communication. And that needs to be conveyed, and you need to be very firm on it when you are talking to the recruitment people. I want effective feedback from this, please. And, you know, be clear, but there's a better way. Take them out of the process altogether. I don't know how many times I'm going to say this on these morning sessions, but the recruitment process is not effective. The recruiting personnel in organizations they are more attuned to what their problems are to what your problems are. As I just said, they probably see it as, I can't ask him, he's a manager, he won't want to give it. There'll be something along those sorts of lines, you know. Whereas the hiring manager himself is probably very happy to give the information across. But if you take out that recruitment process, bypass it altogether, go around and um, go directly into the hiring manager in the first place and make your application directly to them rather than going through their recruitment process, uh, establish a line of communication. Even if you've gone through the recruitment process, establish a line of communication. Ask if it'd be all right for you to message them, because at the end of the day, you may very well want to send a thank you letter for the interview, and that's a perfectly reasonable thing to do, provided you do it properly. And a lot of people don't do that properly, by the way. Sending a thank you letter can actually kill your chances of getting the job if you do it wrong. But it's perfectly acceptable to send a thank you letter, uh, and it's perfectly acceptable to request feedback. So simple as that. I understand on this occasion I wasn't successful. Could you could you give me a couple of pointers as to what I should do better for the next time? You'll get a response 9 times out of 10. But if you don't ask for it, you won't get it. And as I said before, if it's the recruitment people that are getting in the way, establish that communication with the hiring manager. "Oh, do you mind if I drop you a note after this?" That's all it is. Can you confirm your email address? Ask permission, no problems. And it really is quite simple. Rejection should never be seen as failure, by the way. Constant rejection is another thing. If every single time you're getting rejected, you're doing something wrong, then you need to really look into what it is you're doing wrong. And very often, what it is you're doing wrong is, and I say this without any malice or anything, is you're applying for the wrong jobs. You're applying for jobs you're not really capable or not really experienced. Maybe you know you're overshooting what you have done in the past and trying to step up to something that you're not yet ready for, and you're not seen as ready, or you don't have the skills, or you don't have the, a lot of the time this is people wanting to break into a new field maybe, and they don't understand why they're not getting the opportunity to do that. uh, it's never as simple as that to break into a new field. So think about, if you're getting constant rejection, why is it? What is it that you're doing constantly that's making you get rejected? Because as we all know, keep doing the same thing and expecting different results is the very definition of madness, so we shouldn't be doing it. So look at what you're doing, understand what it is that you're constantly getting rejected for, and change it, make it different. So going just to recap on that, the first point is to make sure you are properly aligned to the job, that you articulate your value effectively to that job, and that you get the feedback that you are deserved, that you are owed from the interview in the first place. And if you do all that, you are going to learn, and you're going to grow, and you're going to get the jobs that you really want. But if you don't do it, if you just leave it to chance, if you just go through the process and accept what comes your way, then you're going to get what you deserve. So, along with this video, in the description is my ultimate guide to uh, tech career success. Um, Feel free to go get your free copy of that today. Sign up for it, and it will be on its way. And hopefully, will give you some really useful insights into how to manage your career effectively. Beyond that, why not set up a conversation with me? There's a link to my website, and on my website, there is a link to set up a meeting with me, and we can talk about how your career can be taken to the next level. This is James Foster. This is Careers Matter. Thank you.